I'm Jordan Thomson.
I'm Brock Wishart.
And we're Bat Hunters! Our mission is to find bats and try to research them really well. There are 8 different species of bats in Ontario and 4 of them are going extinct. How bogus is that? The leading cause of this is a disease known as white nose syndrome. White nose syndrome is a disease that comes from fungus that grows in damp caves, which is exactly where bats hibernate. White nose syndrome kills up to 90% of every population of bats. It's a fact! Ah! Jesus Christ, man! This is an epidemic, and it needs to stop! In this documentary, we're going to be discussing the endangerment of bats and why it's important to our society.
Little brown myotis, long-eared myotis, northern myotis, and the tricolored bat are all species being affected by both white nose syndrome and the wind energy companies.
Over the course of the next little bit, I hope that you'll join us on this magical adventure. The journey will be both spiritual and physical, and we hope to connect more with the bats. Thank you, and enjoy. Here we are at Bat HQ. This is basically our base of operations and where we'll be coming before and after every bat hunt.
So far, all the equipment we have consists of rope, our info book on bats, and a map of the areas we're going to be searching.
So obviously we don't have a lot of supplies, so we're gonna go get more. So we're here today trying to get some supplies for a bat hunt.
We've got a lot of searching to do, so we got to make sure we can get the best equipment money can buy. Perfect. This is just what I was looking for. Dinner for the night.
There you go. Now you look like a real bat hunter.
Man, show me the documentary is high. I always get the people's way.
Brock.
Sick, dude. Now let's keep going.
No.
You want to wait a little bit and try again when
We gotta put the card away. We have to go out to a forest and try and hunt for bats.
We've got all this equipment here that we got from the best tech store that Midland offers to offer. We've got our info book, we've got our ropes, and right here on this map, this is where we're gonna start.
We're in a forest now. We're ready to go on an adventure. Okay, so what are we looking for on this adventure?
Well, okay, we're looking for anywhere that bats roost. So we're looking for dead trees, caves, anywhere damp, basically.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Stop bugging me!
See anything? No. This one. Let's go find some more.
Alright.
Hello?
Any bats?
Oh, God!
That's a bug.
No bats in here.
Yeah,
We're just doing this for nothing, basically.
isn't that the point of it all? Nothing.
Let's keep going.
Alright, so what we're looking for today is a little brown myotis. They're the most common bats in Ontario. That's what they look like there. Inside a lot of this stuff, there's not only bats, there's also very large colonies of ants. But we're not looking for ants, are we?
Alright, so it seems like we found a cave right here. I don't think that's deep enough for bats to hide in, but this is just what we're looking for. So if we can find some more, maybe we can find some bats.
We found a wheel, but as you can see, this wheel is not a bat, so we have to keep looking. There's a bat in here. Okay, how do we get up there? That's somewhere that might be a bat.
Oh man.
Looks like the perfect place for bats to escape.
You cool with a bat flying at your face? What? So here it looks like we found a tree with a hole inside of it. And
It's a very dead tree, so this is perfect for a bat spider to roost.
there could very well be one in there, but we don't know for sure yet. We're gonna poke our way around there, trying not to hurt the bat.
Bat!
It goes very deep. Alright, so he could be anywhere in there.
Yeah, he could be up there more,
This may not be a great tree to look through.
but it's on the right
Track.
Alright, so we just got out of the forest from our bat hunt, and it didn't go as planned. But that's okay, because the next step is we're gonna go on a cross-country road trip. It's gonna be epic, and we're gonna go to another forest to camp out at night.
But first, Jordan's gonna go back to the office and talk to Kaylee Norquay from Batwatch. So, let's go.
I'm about to have an interview with Kaylee Norquay. She's the lab manager at the University of Winnipeg and a member of a group called Batwatch. Batwatch is a group of researchers made up of the University of Winnipeg, the University of Regina, the Alberta Community Bat Program, the Wildlife Conservation Society of Canada, and the Earth Rangers, just to name a couple. So these guys are pretty experienced, and I'm talking to a member, so I'm about to have that interview now. Kaylee Norquay, hi there. Thanks for joining me today. I'd just like to ask you a couple questions, and I hope that you can give me some pretty good answers. So let's just get started. All right, first question. Where's the most common place in Ontario to find bats?
So basically anywhere where there are trees, there are bats. Places with lots of water, like lakes, and along tree lines a lot of the time too. So if there is like a patch of forest or something like that, if you watch like along the tree line, you can often see them following that.
Is there any type of weather or time of day that they're most active?
So most bats, like you'll see the most activity if it's above 10 degrees Celsius at night. 13 is better just because insects start flying around at that temperature. And if you find, sometimes like there'll be congregated around streetlights that are attracting moths hunting, and you can actually like throw a stone in the air and they'll chase the stone. Now's a good time too, because a lot of them are either coming back like from being down south or like coming out of hibernation and like going to maternity colonies and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I mean, dusk is definitely the best time, obviously, because you can see them kind of against the sky.
Thank you very much for that. So, Kaylee, what are the biggest contributors to bat endangerment in Ontario?
So in Ontario, there are 2 different types of bats. So there's 8 species in total in Ontario. 3 of those migrate south for the winter. And those bats are all at risk from wind turbines. So the biggest contributor to their mortality are wind turbine farms, which they're actually attracted to during the migration season. The remaining 5 are all hibernating bats, and they're really at risk from a disease called white nose syndrome, which is completely wiping out hibernating bat populations across Ontario.
So speaking of white nose syndrome, what exactly is white nose syndrome, and how long does it take for it to become fatal?
So white nose syndrome is a fungus, and it grows on bats while they're hibernating. And it causes the bats basically to warm up too often out of hibernation. And it takes about, I would say, 2 to 3 months to become fatal, although some bats do survive in small numbers.
So Kaylee, why is it that so many bats are affected by white nose syndrome?
I think one of the problems white nose is such a problem is because it can grow in the caves regardless of whether there's bats there or not. So it does grow on bat skin, but even if all of the bats die, then it has no consequences, basically. And also because it's an invasive species, so these bats have never experienced a fungus like white nose syndrome before, so they don't have any natural defenses against it.
Well, that's the last question. I'm pretty sure we got all the answers we needed.
Great, good luck.
Thanks again for doing this interview. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, nice talking to you. See ya.
Have a good one. Now, that was my interview with Kaylee Norquay from Batwatch. With all this newfound information, hopefully we'll be able to actually find a bat. Alright, so here we are, we're on the road. We're taking the bat hunt to a new place. Alright, so Midland didn't really work out, so here we are in Hillsdale. We got our friend Jenna here. She's our fellow bat hunter now. Brock's holding the camera right now, so he's still here. And we're gonna go set up a camp, and we're going to basically hunt for bats at night. I feel like we might be a little more successful.
Alright, so we're heading through the forest now. We're on a trail, trying to get as deep in as we can. And hopefully somewhere inside we'll be able to find some bats. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Let's get in there.
Go, Diego, go!
Alright, so here we are. We're back in a forest, ready to hunt for some bats.
We've got our tent here so we can set up camp. We've got our food, and we've got a guitar for entertainment.
So, let's go set up the camp. Oh man, I think this field is where we should set up camp.
Yeah, I agree.
So, we just set up the tent. Here it is. It's gonna be a good old time. We're gonna camp out tonight, and when it gets dark, we'll go hunt for some bats. So, that's the plan. We set up camp, but now we need to find some firewood for our fire tonight. So, I think this stuff is good. We got some really dry pieces of wood here that'll be good for burning. So, I'm gonna try and get this back to camp.
Here we go. We finally got our campfire set up. We got our tent over there, and we're finally going to start looking for some bats. Just a couple minutes.
Yeah, the nighttime bat hunt begins now. Here we go.
Alright, here we are. We made it into the forest. We're going to start looking soon.
Yeah, first.
It's pretty dark in here. So we're going to have to use flash on the camera and some of our flashlights, but... Alright, let's go look for some bats.
Yeah, let's go. It's gonna be a lot easier to find bats now because it's nighttime. Back in the day, we had to try and find roosting spots for bats and hope that we would find one that was sleeping during the day. But it should be active. Hopefully we can find one. Bats? Hello, bats? You want to come out and play? But I just saw one. Look at that! Did you catch that? Did you get that? We saw one, did you see it? Yeah.
Oh my god, I think we're lost.
Oh.
They're right above our heads. We've got bats.
Our heads.
Oh. They're everywhere. Keep your eye on the sky.
They seem to be everywhere. Think they might be in there? I don't know.
I'm not good at climbing trees. Are you better?
I'm a little bit better.
Oh, you're
Still not much better. We're getting close. I can feel it.
We've already seen a couple go over our heads so far. So if we can get a whole bunch on film, we're golden. That'd be perfect.
Oh my god! I think they're over there by the tree line! Come on, let's go! Come on, come on, come on!
Where?
He's over here! Come on! He's over here! Whoa! Look! Oh my god! There they are! Oh, there's one. Yeah, buddy. So there's definitely bats roosting in the forest. That's great.
Right above us.
Oh man, that means that they came from here.
Oh, there's another one. That one was close.
Yeah, this is getting tense. They're right above us.
Hey bat, hey bat. Oh my god, this is insane. Look at it.
He's so close to us.
I don't think it works like that, Jordan.
This is the most amazing thing. Dude!
Oh, that's so close. Oh, they're just hanging. They're just hanging out.
And it just happens to be right above us.
Oh wow. Oh my god. It's the happiest day of my life. Alright, so we did it. That concludes our hunt for bats. We found the bats.
We finally found them. They were just flying over our heads and we didn't even expect it.
It was insane. But that means that our adventure comes to an end. So here we are, we're at our campfire again where we get to relax. And tomorrow we go back home. So last night we had the bat hunt and it went really well. We had a really good time doing it.
Overall, throughout this whole experience, we've had a good time. We learned a lot about bats, and I hope you did too.
If you want to help bats, there are many ways to do so. One of the best ways is a bat house.
A bat house is a perfect place for a bat to roost if they don't have anywhere else to go. It's safe and reliable.
If you want to create a bat house of your own, then there are many tutorials online that will show you how to do so and what materials you need.
Another way to help the bats is to prevent the spreading disease of white nose syndrome.
In order to prevent white nose syndrome from spreading, you need to avoid all caves that you know that bats roost in and that there might be white nose syndrome in.
And the last thing we're going to talk about today is the reduction of the amount of wind energy we use, especially around dusk.
It's estimated that hundreds of thousands of bats die every single year due to the use of wind energy while bats are active. Thank you so much for watching Bat Heart.
I hope you enjoyed watching it as much as we enjoyed making it.
Adios, amigos!
Go.